day, beautiful people. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Glad you made it. It's another social production, boys and girls. It's Wednesday. Gonna have some fun in the city with the beautiful people of the city, beautiful people of Toronto, wherever you are in and around the world. Hope you're all doing well. Thank you again for joining me today. If you've been a long time viewer and listener, thank you very much for all the love and support. If you're just joining us today, buckle up, buckle down. It's gonna get funky, it's gonna get loose, it's gonna get messy, it's gonna get, a lot of things are gonna happen. Sip to the gang. What a wonderful day to be alive and kicking, just like any other day. Wherever you are, I hope everything's going well for you. Let's get right into it. Today, boys and girls, ladies and gents, I just want to talk about different things, but we live in a curious world. We live in a beautiful world made up of all sorts of different things. Small things, big things, medium-sized things. Don't forget the mediums. Representing the mediums. And I like to take a time, smell the roses every once in a while, if I may. Pay attention to my surroundings. And yesterday I went for a walk and I stopped to smell a couple of roses, not gonna lie. Boy likes to sniff a couple of flowers, if I may, if I can. And in doing so, I discovered a little love session going on between some insects. A couple of bugs were interconnected, linked together, making love. I didn't know what kind of bug it was. I had to Google it when I got home, but it was red, it was black. And I think I've actually come across this bug before, but it struck out because it was unique, it was distinct. Red and black little bug, and they were connected together making love. And when their wings are not flapping, on their back you might see some sort of a pattern or a design, and that pattern or design might resemble something like a human face, or at least a human mask. And I'll go ahead and I'll post that little video for you guys at the end of this beautiful podcast, and you guys let me know what you think. Do the firebugs look like human masks or human faces? What do you guys think? What do you gals think? But then I got curious, so I'm like, I'm pretty sure I've come across these bugs before. Let me just do a little bit of double checking, just so I'm not spewing out misinformation or what have you. You want the facts, you come to your local fax machine. So I did a little bit of digging just to reaffirm, and it was in fact the firebug. Now what was interesting about the firebug, my dear friends, my family members, my fellow gang members, fellow syndicate members, the firebug is notorious because it's, first of all, it's fire. Second of all, I saw them linked up, connected, making love. But they don't do it like us, face to face. No sir, no ma'am. They do it butt to butt, rear end to rear end, genital to genital, V to P, P to V. But they're so tiny I can't even see the V or P. It might just be V to V or P or P. I don't know, but I think in that particular scenario we're looking at a P to V. They were celebrating their love. They were trying to make babies. You understand, babies. But the beautiful fact about these little buggers is that they make love anywhere between 12 hours to 7 days. Let that sink in for a second. That is 12 hours to 7 days on average. That's how long they go down. 12 hours, 7 days on average. That is nuts. I can't imagine making love for 12 hours. 7 days? I don't know, dude. To each their own. How much lovemaking would you even, collectively put all your lovemaking hours days together, how many hours would it add up to? I don't know, dude. 7, and I had many questions that were not answered by the internet. I'm hoping the beautiful people of the world know. Do these little buggers take breaks in between? Do you stop and take 5? Or is it just like non-stop, just, you know, hammer time for 12 hours minimum, and then 12 to 7 days, 12 hours to 7 days. And that's just average. That's just average. So you know there's some sort of outlier out there just, you know, going for twice as many of the days, 14 days, a fortnight, 2 weeks, half a month. Just love making. That is wild. Maybe you're out there, maybe that's relatable. Maybe you pop a blue chew and that's your life. Maybe you're like, yes, that's normal. Is it? Is it though, fam? If it is, good for you. If it's not, you're not alone. 12 hours. Let that sit. 12 hours. 7 days. I don't know, man. I don't know. So next time you walk around, you see a little bugger, you're like, oh, it's so tiny. Probably can't do much. 7 days. Oh man, how many hours is that? A lot of hours. But that's beautiful. That's nature. That's mysterious nature for you out there. And you gotta do, all you gotta do is just stop and smell the roses for a few seconds. And we got beautiful things obviously going in around, taking place all day, every day. The best of times, some say. We're definitely enjoying the fruits of our labor. We're definitely enjoying peak humanity. I don't know if this is peak humanity, but this is definitely amongst the high notes of humanity. Why? Oh, I don't know. Do we have in 2022 over 22 variations of milk? Over 22 variations of milk. Back when I was a wee little fella, there were only 2. Straight up from your mom's tits and the teats of the cow. 2 sources coming from mammals, legit milk. But now in 2022, if you search online, on the Googles, on the webs, how many types of milk are there? You'll find at least 22. I'm sure there's probably some more out there that I couldn't find, but at least 22. What were the basics? Well, au naturel coming from the females, thank you very much. First type of milk. Others were, you know, coming from cows. Beautiful, delicious cow milk. And then some people got a little bit specific. They're like, oh, I like this cow milk, but could I get a little bit reduced in fat? Can we lower the fat percentage of this milk? Is that a thing? And somebody invented 2%. And then we got carried away and somebody's like, oh, 2% is too much fat. It's too much. Can I get lactose-free milk? How you gonna take the lactose out of the thing that's made of lactose? You're not even drinking milk at that point. You're just drinking non-lactose liquid. Is it even worth it? Is it, playa? I don't know. Condensed milk. Concentrated milk. Evaporated milk. What is that all about? Evaporated milk. Try to drink it, it just disappears. Why? Evaporating, that's why. Skim milk. Homogenized milk. You know. And what is skim milk? It's the type of milk you just, you know, you just chug that bad boy. You don't wait around. You don't read the title page. You don't even look at the cover. You don't read the preface. You don't read a page from the middle of the skim milk. You don't read the ending. No, you just skim right through it, don't you? Sipping on that skim milk, but that at least is still milk. I can still live with any kind of milk that comes from mammals, from teats. I can appreciate that. But then we started somewhere around, I don't know, a few decades ago, we started to come up with new variants of milk. For those individuals who just wanted to do things a little bit different. Sure, they wanted to feel like they belong. Who doesn't want to belong? Everybody's drinking milk. Mornings, afternoons, evenings. Breakfast, lunch, dinner. You may hear some of the noises of the city. People are putting up signs. A beautiful stop sign is going up with a beautiful street name. By the way, for those of you who know, you know we're just a little bit north of Eglinton. For those of you who don't know, we are at Yonge and Eglinton here in Toronto. Beautiful part of the city that I like to explore on a daily, go for my daily walks. But before we get sidetracked, before we get distracted, let's concentrate on the concentrated milk, shall we? Where I get a little bit, where I draw the line, where I just lose it, is when it comes to milk that is not even milk. Because you'll hear these things: soy milk, rice milk, pistachio milk, almond milk, coconut milk. What are we doing here, fam? What are we doing here? We're just willy-nilly calling everything milk? I can't live like that. I'll consume it if you serve it as something else. But don't say it's milk. Don't call it milk. Milk is milk. What are we talking about here? Natty milk from the teats. That's milk from a mammal. You can't milk seeds. Seeds are not milkable. I don't know. Unless I'm consuming seeds that are missing tits, dude. Are you sucking on some pistachios with little teats? Because I've not seen any. 32 years I've been on this planet. But apparently it's a thing. Coconut milk. Coconut milk. Coconut juice. Coconut juice. I can live with coconut juice. Why do we have to label it coconut milk? Why do we have to play this charade? Why do we have to say it's something that it's coconut juice? Coconut juice. This is where I draw the line. This is where I draw the line. Coconut juice. It's a fruit. It's a fruit, right? Coconut juice makes sense. Milk. I don't know. Does it look like milk? Okay, a little bit, fine. But it's a fruit. It's a vegetable. It's a fruit vegetable. Hence, it should be called juice. But then I thought, why do we call it milk? Probably because it's more familiar. It's more easy to digest. Not just down here, but up here as well. Because you walk in your local coffee shop, you know, you ask for, oh, can I get some coffee? So do you have some milk that is not milk? Because I'm lactose, I'm fructose, I'm all the above. Give me something that doesn't have that dairy in it. They could easily tell you they could give you pistachio juice in your coffee, but the sound of that doesn't sound too well in your ears, does it? Would you like me to top off your coffee with some rice juice? Yeah. Rice juice and milk? No, thank you. Rice milk? Oh, well, it's got milk in it now. Soy milk, sure, put it in there. What is it? I don't even know what it is. Definitely not good for the boys. Definitely not good for the boys. Definitely not good for the men's, I can tell you that. And if it's not good for the men's, I can't imagine it being good for the females either. Because if it's affecting the males in a negative way, reducing tests, that's testosterone levels, shrinking nut sacks, or not, but definitely doing something in there. You're suffering from gyno, dude. Gynomastia, that is. You got, man, you know what you got. You know what you got. You look like you're maybe, you're a dude, but you look like you're, you know, going through a growth spurt as a female. What's happening with your tits? Soy milk, that's what's happening to your tits, dude. But that's just me. And for the, you know, legit, some people might be allergic, and I can live with that. But just call it what it is. Call it juice. I'll have some soy juice in my coffee, so that we're not just pretending out here like you're consuming milk. Okay, say soy juice, say rice juice, pistachio juice, coconut juice. I can live with these things. Calling everything what they're not is just, I don't know, dude. That's where I draw the line. False advertising. That's what it is, man. That's what it is. Sending everybody love out there. If you're consuming these products, shout out to you. Regardless, I support it. I get it. You legit might be a little bit sensitive in the digestive area. No problem. They don't make them like they used to anymore, man. People used to get diarrhea and just go about their day. That's how men and women used to operate. Fella just operating, you know, doing work, but like, you know, also dealing with a little bit of diarrhea. Lady out there working, also dealing with a little bit of diarrhea. Why? Lactose, but they took it on the chin. But no, we're all of a sudden, we're 2022, baby. We're too good for diarrhea. Man, bring it back. Bring it back. But that's just, you know, a little bit of something that I had on my mind that I want to get off my chest. But today's most important topic of the day, and we'll see. We'll see if we'll get a chance. Maybe we'll speak with a few people. If not, it'll just be yours truly and your beautiful self out there. What do I want to talk about today? What do I want to talk about today on Wednesday, August the 24th of 2022? Oh, it's about to go. It's about to get... Let me get a sip of this. It's time to go to the moon, baby. We're flying to the moon. We're combining two different topics today. The moon, space, and people's #1 favorite topic of all time, criminals, convicts. That's right. So your favorite two ideas put together, space and convicts. Criminals in space. Space criminals. Sort of like space cowboys, but reverse it. Space criminals. It could be a movie, could be real life. I like to see it happen in real life, and then we can make a movie out of it together. We can call it Con Space, like Con Air, but Con Space. Or I'm not, you know, that's just let that simmer on the back. Put it on the back burner, just sit on that bad boy right there. But you know, Con Space, space criminals, space crime odysseys, criminals in space. I already say that. Misbehaving in space. No, it doesn't sound too well. You know, let's go with Con Space for now, and we'll work out the deets together. But the idea is, fam, that let's take a look around, shall we? Good morning, sir. Good day to you. Beautiful people, beautiful people. They're supportive, but you know, they're like silent partners. And that's the way we like them, baby. Some of the partners keep it silent. But if you want to be vocal, exercise them chords. Point is that we need to take a good look at ourselves in the mirror. Or, yeah, the mirror, that's right. That's where you look at yourself, in the mirror. Or a pond, or a river, or a lake for reflection, or aluminum, something so you can, you know, look at yourself and be like, oh, that's me, that's us. And once we take a look at ourselves, we gotta ask certain questions. You know, it's great to do certain things in life the same way we've done it for millions of years, but is there anything that could use a little bit of improvement, a little bit of tweaking, a little bit of adjustment, perhaps? Perhaps. What am I talking about? I'm talking about the criminal justice system, or at least a portion of it, a segment of it. I'm talking about prisons and jails. That's right. It might get dark. What are we talking about here? Prison industrial complex. Oh, it's about to get complicated up in this bitch. Prison industrial complex. First of all, I just want to say, again, a little bit misleading with the title because it sounds like to me as if somebody or somebodies out there are suffering from some sort of a digestive problem, some sort of an autoimmune system disease. Prison industrial complex, you know? Oh, you just can't stop fixating on prison and industry. That boy's at it again, they'll say. And that's how you point the finger at the individual and not take any responsibility as a whole. But we want to take responsibility both as individuals and as a whole. What's your whole up to today? When was the last time you took a good hard look at your whole? That's right, in the mirror. I do it every morning after I use the bathroom, just to, you know, double check. Don't want any dingleberries surprising anyone, you know what I mean? But the point is, fam, this is not about me. This is not about you. No, it's all about us. That's right. And what we need to do is take a look at the model that's been presented, the model that is at work, and perhaps come up with a few different ideas of what we can do to adjust it if we can, if we may. Now, initially, I believe, and I'm not too educated on this topic, but I believe the prison industrial complex was designed so to facilitate behavioral therapy in some shape or form, if it can, if it may. People are supposed to go in there, they're misbehaving, they're bad boys and bad gals going in there. They're supposed to get rehabbed, and they're supposed to come back into society, full functioning adults, contributing, immersing, being one with their whole and our whole, being one with the whole. The most important thing is be one with the whole, especially your whole. But somewhere along the line, we lost sight of that. We totally lost sight of the rehab section. We're just like, let's send him to prison. Let's just put him in there. No second chances. No third strike, you're out. Third strike, you're out. One time. Oh, you made a terrible mistake and you don't have the means to get yourself out. Well, tough noogies, bucko. Yeah, you're just a number now. That's what we said, because there are a lot of them to deal with. And rightly so. Dealing with 8 billion people and change, you're gonna run into some folks every now and again that'll just be like, oh, man, that fella's out there. That lady's out there. Like, really out there. And that's beautiful, man. I just believe for the most part we can, if we can, try to incorporate everybody as much as possible. Now, there's rules to the exception, of course. There are definitely, in the crime world, in the crime and the criminal aspect of it, there's always the outliers in that realm as well, who do horrific, horrendous things that are probably not easy to forgive, i.e. rape, murder. Those two, you know, probably not gonna be too lenient on the forgiving part. But other crimes, potentially we could possibly take a look at some individuals and come up with new ideas of incorporating them into our society, or at least the human society. They don't have to be here, but they can be here with us in different forms. Now let's get into it. What am I talking about? I said in the beginning, space criminals. Put them together, what do you have? Space criminals, that's right. Crime space. Space crime. Gotta think of a better name. Con Space for now is the winning title, but I'll work on it, and you can work on it too if you like. Aren't you tired of privatized institutions making money off the back of the lower bottom portion of the socioeconomical spectrum? Aren't you tired? I know I am. That's why I drink a lot of coffee. I'm not tired, I'm just joking. But you know what I mean? Certain things you look around, you're like, man, can't we make better use of the manpower? Is there not a better way to make use of human potential? And not just for selfish reasons. Don't just put them in prisons where they're making shoes, gloves, scarves, condoms, car parts, surgery equipment, you name it, they make it. That's right. For free. Free labor. Now, I'm not saying make this happen for all of them, I'm just saying, for a few select group of individuals. And I'll leave the assessment up to you guys and gals out there. You know, we gotta sort them out. Like, you know, somebody that's, you know, oh, they just... Somebody just made a bad decision once. Somebody made a wrong turn. They were at the wrong place at the wrong time, instead of being at the right place at the right time. They got into a car that they shouldn't have gone into. They opened the door of a house that didn't belong to them. They snatched the purse or something. Something that's, you know, they're locked up for something that's, you know, not super bueno, but again, on the whole spectrum of things that are not so bueno, that's like, you know, it'd be a shame to throw a life away, is what I'm saying. They can be redeemed, or at least given a chance to redeem themselves. Hence, introducing con space. Now, fellas, ladies, this is what I have to propose. We select a group of prisoners, a beautiful bunch, and we put them in space. Very simple, very simple. But that's the thing, you know, because 2024, 2025, and the years coming ahead of that, we're going to be needing people to go into space and doing astronomy, doing astronauts. We're going to need people to go up in space, do astronaut stuff. We need astro people. And I don't know how we're doing on that department, to be honest with you. I don't see too many people volunteering to be like, oh, send me to space. I'll go to space. Sure, you got the astronauts, you got the physicists, you got the physicals. They're into it. But I would imagine they're a small crew. I'm imagining for, let's not beat around the bush, baby. We're gonna have to colonize this space before somebody else does. Or have they already done it? Have we been, man, who knows? But nonetheless, we're gonna need some man and woman power. And who better than prisoners? Think about it. For numerous reasons. First of all, common ground is where we're at. What is space? It's empty. Well, no, it's full. Full and empty. That's right. Ha! Neither nor. It's not here. It's not there. Somewhere in between, you know it. But it's full of space. But what it is that it's dangerous. It's risky. It's wild. Because it's space. It's unpredictable. It's dark. But with light. It's both light and dark. Man, it's scary. We're in space. Try not to think about it. But who else is dangerous, wild, unpredictable, and is comprised of a little bit of dark, a little bit of light? I know, prisoners, criminals, convicts. So, whoa. The bumblebee just flying in the middle of the scene. Oh, no big deal. I'm not fazed. I don't let anything get to me. What were we say? Yes, space, being rough, being dangerous, being scary. And you're gonna need some people who are a little bit dangerous, a little bit scary themselves to go up there and do beautiful things. Sure, there's pros and cons to this game, and we'll go through them together. The pros. Let's start with the pros, if we can. Well, first of all, again, the obvious is don't just waste a life. Don't just have them like making shoes when we can like legit, robotics are taking over everything. We need more people doing different things. So, hand over the minimal tasks to the robots. They seem happy about it. And then put the criminal elements up in space. Up in space, dude. They're strong. You need strong people. They're sturdy. They're risk takers. That's the type of person you want up in a spaceship, dude. You know, sure, they might not have the same mechanical training as an astronaut or as a mechanic physicist, mechanically fizzing up there. Sure, but you know, they've learned on the streets, because Is a spaceship so different than boosting a car in the AM so you can drive that car into a little shipping dock station in a little compartment and then have it, you know what I'm talking about, the boosting car, same skills, spaceshipping. Because sure, everything might be like, if everything goes well, you want to send astronauts, but in these initial years, do we want to lose our best astronauts and fizzing people to space? Think about it. If you had a bunch of Einsteins, would you want to put them in spaceships and send them off into space? No, of course not. You want them down here with us so they can crack physicists. Fizzing, you know? It's so simple, man. It's E equals MC squared. You know what it is. So instead of risking the best scientists, let them do the paperwork, the theory, the development for the initial exploration stages. We're gonna need some pirates, essentially. That's what it is, baby. That's what it is. We want some like pirate mentality in space, because you need some. Do some 23andMe. Find somebody who's related to like Christy Columbus. Send that fella. Great grandchild or something. You know what I mean? But you need that like mentality, and I don't know if our best scientists and physicists have that sort of mentality. Maybe some do, maybe some don't. Maybe astronauts are wild. I mean, they certainly like to drink their own piss, dude, with some pill. They like to pop some pills in their own piss and drink it. So I don't know, maybe they're a little bit wild after all. But that's just astronauts. I'm not judging, I get it. So initially you want to, you know, save the brains behind the operation, send some sturdier folk up there to do the dirty. Go plant a little flag. Go, you know, go discover, go search in that crater, what's up? Find a couple of Martians and shit. Start making, and here's the thing, sure, are they, you know, they're unreliable, absolutely. But maybe we can make it an incentive for them to go up there, do some good work, come back, or stay up there, whatever, dude. You know, but like essentially working with everybody as much as we can. I think they're well suited for the position. I don't know, that's just me. I'll let you do the other half of the thinking, but if you have let's say we send them to the moon, let's say we send them to Mars, let's say we send them to other planets. Should we come across some threatening aliens, do you want, again, the Einsteins up there to be like, oh, E equals MC? Oh man, no, dude. No, because it's blammo. Einstein's out, blammo, right like that, you know? That can't happen with the convict criminal mindset. But that's just convict criminal mindsets. Otherwise, you're risking, again, losing the best minds. Why? Because you're like, oh, I'd rather have them be familiar with the equipment. Put a camera in there, guide them. Oh, you know, let's make good use of the cameras. And everybody's got abilities. So again, if a threatening alien approaches the manpower in the space station, yeah, who do you want? Send our biggest, toughest guys. That's who you want. Send somebody that's just like tatted up with gang signs, dude. Send them up with a gang, by the way. And yeah, that's the question too. Do you send them by themselves or as a crew? Send them as a crew. It's more wild, it's more unpredictable, and and to be honest with you, it'll make space exploration a little bit more exciting. All right, you know what I mean? Because you always see, oh, astronauts are so like uptight with, oh, my suit's got to be like perfect, I can't remove the helmet. Have a guy without a helmet, just, you know, unzip it a little bit, make it look a little bit cool. Not safe? I don't know, play around with it. Roll up a sleeve at least, like 80s rolled up sleeves for astronauts, dude. Just Michelin men, just like rolled up sleeves, a little bit chiller and cooler, so we got more people into space. We do need more people in space. Yeah, so if some threatening alien comes over, you want a fella who'll be able to, you know, do the shanky poo without thinking twice. You're like, what good is that? Is that ability? Well, there you have it. Aliens in space, looking all tough and rough. We'll put our tough and rough right in their face, bro. You're like, that's not the best way to tackle this. Again, not a fully cooked idea, but should we put it in the back burner? Let's think about it together. So there's numerous benefits. Making better use of a life, saving the brains of the operations, getting everybody to work as a community, making space look cool. But you know, there's always downsides to things. Sure, there's always I'm not gonna be here just pretending like there are no downsides, like there are no negatives to this space space mission. There are, and we'll name a few together after I have a sip of this bad boy right here. It's Wednesday time to have some fun with your boy in space. So, the negatives, the downsides, the dirty, the dark side of the moon. What is that all about? Just gonna wait for this little bugger to move around because it's just causing a ruckus once again. But they're good folks. That's what it is, baby. This city's on fire. This city's the hottest city among cities. Every day, all day, every day. We can't help ourselves. The city's lit. That's why you see fire trucks all day, every day, in almost every video. Stay lit, but also stay safe. The downsides of sending convicts into space, I mean, it's hard to think of any, to be honest, because the whole concept seems fun to me. But if you were to get serious about it, what could go wrong? I don't know. Somebody could potentially hijack a spaceship. No big deal. Millions. How much money does it cost to build one of those damn things? Billions, you're saying? Not cheaper, huh? So yeah, there's something to think about. Do we want to captain a spaceship with somebody who's a little bit on edge? Who's got a little bit of an appetite for destruction? Who's always playing by his or her own rules? Sounds kind of nice, to be honest with you, because you know, it could go bad. It could go, you know, they could hijack well, maybe we don't tell them about all the knobs and the buttons. Like, we tell them the ones that they can use and how they should use it. The rest of them, we just don't educate them on them. So like, but you're like, what if they just go, you know, take the wheel into their own hands and start pushing buttons? Then yeah, that's something, you know, put a lid over it. You know, there's always, the glass can always be half empty, fam. I'm just saying. Put a couple of lids over the buttons that are like, oh, don't press that button. Put a lid over it. Double lidded, I don't know. But the point is, yeah, sure, they can definitely hijack a spaceship. That could happen. They could potentially, what else could happen that's not so bueno? They might start fights, just for old time's sakes. But do regular astronauts not fight? Are they always cool, calm, and collected? Yeah? They're always cool, calm, and collected, huh? They do a lot of testing on these guys and fellas, huh? Just to make sure they're on the level, huh? Just so that we know that they won't blow a fuse, huh? And like these other comics criminal mindsets, they're not so dependable. The city is lit. City is on fire in different directions, baby. North, south, east, west. Every corner, there's a fire to be put out. There's a... Man. What are we talking about? That's right. They're unpredictable. And they might start fights. But, again, maybe, you know, sure, we haven't had any astronauts go up in space and fight. But maybe that's because we don't see everything that goes on in space. Maybe they're fighting all the time. Not all the time, some of the time. Must get a little bit claustrophobic at times, a little bit homesick, a little bit antsy. You want to sneak away, have a little bit of smoke in the back cabin, in the downstairs cabin of the space shuttle ship. Sally is always about, no, we can't smoke in the spaceship. There's vents, it'll go out somewhere, dude. So for that particular reason, I will not be going to space. Once the coffee shops and the smoking stations are set, I'll gladly join you. But until those little minor adjustments are made, I'm going to stay put. But that's what it is. Equip our best convicts, our best worst convicts, with nicotine patches so that they're not jonesing. But send them up there, and sure, they might start fights, but you know, it's just boys being boys. But don't put the boys in the... Do we put the ladies and the men in the same spaceship? Man, they are criminals. Send 2 spaceships. We're going to be sending multiple different spaceships, but once they get to space, they're going to have to work together. Okay, you know what? We're going to have to tackle some things down here. Get them to... Again, these are, you know, I'm putting the selection part on you. You decide who's, you know, don't put like the toughest, meanest criminals up there. Put some, like, you know, medium, half medium wild boys and girls. Also, the ladies should be pretty wild up there as well. You know, you want a lady who's able to fight off a Martian, put out a fire, potentially, you know, jump on the back of one of the dudes that's just really big and he's now feeling like he's in charge of the gang. You're one gang. It's one whole. We're one big whole. Remember that. So maybe we, you know, she's scrappy too, dude. 125. She's got tats all over her face, dude. She's jumping on his back while everybody else is too scared. And while she's on his back, the rest of the crew can start kicking him in the nuts, dude. Do that training down here. Kicking in the nuts will go a long way. I know it's not typical standard MMAs and jiu-jits, but they don't teach you that in the UFC, dude. That's the stuff that comes in handy when things go code. I don't know the code. I don't know the coloring of the codes. Code, a bad code. What's the brown, black, white, amber code? No, that's for missing children, I think. Red, code red. Yeah, that's right, code red. It's code red, baby. And you need somebody to jump on somebody's back. Somebody who's not afraid of taking one in the chin. Just saying. Other downsides to this game. So there are 2 scenarios. One, we could be faced with threatening Martians or aliens. That's when we need somebody to go full out, you know, put the moves on them. But there could be the opposite of that, which is you get friendly Martians and aliens and they're coming out there with flowers, smoking, flowers in hand, drinking coffee as typical aliens do. Welcome, long lost cousins and family members, relatives, but we can't identify them because they've lost all their human features. They're future humans, but their features are diminished because of the atmosphere and what have you. But they're like, oh, we're the same. And our guys, even though they're being friendly, our guys, because they're, you know, being stuck in prison for so long, and they take any sort of interaction as hostile. So they're like, man, is this alien being hostile? And pop right in the face of the alien. Next thing you know, that was their queen. You just socked the queen alien in the face, dude. Now we got ourselves a big intergalactic, interspecies problem, to say the least. So, in the case of a threatening alien, it'd be great. In the case of peace-loving aliens who like to speak with us, maybe it's not so smart to send aggro convicts up in space. But also, it's a risk I'm willing to take, if you're willing to take, and we'll take it together. See where it goes. That's just what it is, man. What do you guys think? What do you gals think? You know what I mean? And we need people to populate this place. And they've been locked up. It's actually good that we send both males and females. Both of the sex genders have been kept in different localities. So once you put them together, oh, it's baby city. Moon, population, however many we decide to put up there. It's up to you, man. You make the decisions. That's all I'm trying to say. Think about it. Con space. Oh man, it'd be dope. I'd love to see it. Could they potentially once they land, could they potentially turn around and be like, we're gonna start our own thing? And you know, could they turn on us, is what you're asking. Chances are yes. They could, yes. I'm not gonna pretend like there's no chance of them turning on us, because they've demonstrated, set precedent. I can't, you know, speaks for itself. But I mean, again, it's the whole egg and omelet situation, isn't it? Point is that maybe we could, let's say, probably not the most best humane idea, but beats being in prison for 30 to 50 years. What if we give them those zappable collars? You know, put some collars on them, like zappable. I know it's really, I wouldn't want it to be like that, but I'm just saying how to make a good situation. That when it's a lemonade situation again, isn't it? You got lemons, you got to deal with it. Something so that if they start to, you know, and then we tell them, listen, we don't want to do this. Don't put me in that position so I have to press that button, dude. I don't want to zap you. Do the missions to the best of your capability, come back down, and then you're free. Or something along those lines. You guys can work out the deets. I just got the initial ideas. But, you know, and then we'll have to equip you with you start acting a fool, we're gonna zap you, baby. You're just gonna be zapping and foaming in space. Think about that. What if they break the zappy devices around their necks? That's also a possibility, because these folks are crafty, they're intuitive, they're willing to work with their hands, knees, elbows, teeth, fingernails, really all parts of their body. I don't see them holding back. Scrappy bunch, that's the nature of the game. But what do you guys and gals think? Isn't it a great idea? You know, saving lives and also populating space. Just saying, man. You don't want to, you know what I mean? You don't want to, if Stephen Hawking, if he were alive, you wouldn't want to send him to space, dude. Sure, he's got all the IQs. Sure, he's got all the IQs. But when it comes to doing other stuff, good God, Stephen. And again, I feel okay saying this because he is no longer with us. At least in the physical realm. Perhaps he's floating on a wheelchair in the ether. Beep bop beep boop, it's lit up here. Or down there, I don't know where it's at. But point is, you want some sturdy folks. Where do you find sturdy risk takers who are willing to go that extra mile for the bag? Prisoners. Very simple. So, before you go and lock somebody up because they made a wrong turn, because they took a wrong step, because they shook a wrong hand, because they kept a friend where they shouldn't have. Maybe they made a new friend that they shouldn't have made. Maybe they don't have friends. Maybe that's their whole problem. Man, maybe it's just not even anybody. Maybe it's just that one particular individual who's just wired a little bit differently. Who knows? Different scenarios, different cases. But I'm just saying, what about the human potential? What about all of the possibilities? How do you guys feel about it? Do you feel safe putting convicts in space? I do. Don't. Do I? I don't know. I feel good about it, to be honest. I'm not gonna lie. Again, select. Like good convict. Somebody that just like, oh, he's a good guy. He's got a good heart, but bad decision making at one point. And now he's doing time. I'm just saying. Let it sink in. It's Wednesday time. We're going to space, you and me, my friends. It's Wednesday time. We're gonna be going into space with the convicts. Space. Now, the posters and then the movies that could get made based on this true story, they can take place, starring people in the future. Oh, but it's so hard to get method with it, and like maybe we can get a criminal to play the movie as well, and we're just changing lives. Criminals in space, dirty. Just fellas and ladies wearing leather chaps, leather vests, leather caps, leather everything with studs. That sort of deal, but in space. Criminals, dude, in space. You know criminals. Criminals. I don't know if you guys saw that. I don't know if it got recorded or not, but there was a giant 18-wheeler truck hauling a giant tree. It's a big tree, dude. Good times. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I love you with all my heart. Thank you again for all the love and support. For the ones that have been with me from the get-go, love you. Thank you for all the love and support, sending all the positive thoughts out there right back at you. For those of you, if you just joined me today, go ahead and follow me on Instagram. Hit the subscribe button on YouTube so you get the full-length videos, and check out Patreon. Talk about it. It's a growing operation. We're a podcast among podcasts. We're a person amongst people. We're people. That's right. We're the whole, baby. We're looking at it. We're the whole together. I'll be back here again on Friday, because that's how it goes up in this bitch. Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, baby. Stay litty. I'll talk to y'all very soon. Peace out.